You know, we all tend to think that being broke is just about your paycheck not being big enough. But what if I told you that's not really the whole story? The real culprits are often these small, almost invisible habits, the things we do every day without even thinking, and they're quietly keeping you from ever getting ahead. So let's just get right to it and ask the big question. Is your salary the actual reason you feel like you're constantly spinning your wheels? We are so often told to just focus on earning more, but honestly, that might be missing the entire point.
Because the real problem, it's usually invisible. It's not some huge catastrophic financial disaster. It's a bunch of quiet little mistakes that secretly drain your wealth day after day. And today, we're going to drag 5 of them out into the light.
All right, so mistake number 1 is all about the money that just seems to, poof, disappear. We're talking about those small, daily financial leaks that, let's be honest, most of us completely ignore.
Here's a wild statistic to get us started. Get this, over 65% of people have absolutely no clue where their money went last month. I mean, sure, they remember the big stuff like rent, but everything else, it's a total blur. And look, you just can't get a handle on something if you don't even know it's happening. And this is what leads to the super dangerous trap called lifestyle creep. It's that thing where the more money you make, the more you seem to spend. Your expenses just kind of magically expand to match your new income, which is exactly why a pay raise often feels like it made zero difference at all.
And these leaks, they're so familiar, right? A coffee here, a delivery fee there, that one streaming service you forgot you were even paying for. None of them feel like a big deal by themselves. They're just small, totally innocent purchases.
But this is where it gets scary. Those tiny, harmless leaks can easily add up to over $300 a month, just silently vanishing from your account. That's a serious chunk of change that could be working for you instead of against you.
So how do you fix this? It's way simpler than you'd think. You don't need some complicated app or a spreadsheet. For just 2 weeks, try this. Just write down every single purchase over $1 in a note on your phone. Seriously. That simple act of paying attention is often all it takes to start saving hundreds a month.
Okay, on to our second quiet mistake, emotional spending. This one is all about the why behind our spending. A lot of the time, we don't buy things because we need them. We buy them for that quick little hit of happiness. And just like this quote says, that temporary rush can lead to some pretty big long-term regret.
The fix here is just beautifully simple. It's the 48-hour rule. The next time you get that urge to buy something you don't really need, just wait. 2 days. That's it. You'll be amazed at how many of those must-have urges just fade away. If you still want it after 48 hours and it's in the budget, hey, go for it. This one habit is a total game changer.
All right, let's talk about our next couple of mistakes. And these two are really tied together. Not having an emergency fund and falling into that high-interest debt trap. These are the financial shocks that can lock you in a cycle of stress for years. Mistake number 3 is just not being prepared. And this right here is a huge mindset shift. Unexpected expenses, your car breaking down, a sudden trip to the vet, your phone deciding to die. These are not a possibility. They are a guarantee. The only thing you don't know is when they're going to hit. And without a buffer, every single one of those events turns into a full-blown financial disaster. Building an emergency fund can feel really overwhelming, so the key is to just start small, like super small. Your first goal? Just $50, then $100, then $500. The hardest part is just getting the ball rolling, but once you start, momentum takes over, and you start to build real confidence with every step. And that brings us right to mistake number 4, ignoring high-interest debt. This stuff is an absolute wealth killer, and it's designed from the ground up to keep you paying forever. So let me ask you, when you make that minimum payment on your credit card bill, do you have any idea where that money is actually going?
Okay, look at this. It's insane. On a typical $25 minimum payment, a whopping $18 might go straight to interest. That means only $7 is actually chipping away at what you owe. This is exactly how people get stuck in debt for decades, paying thousands more than they ever borrowed in the first place.
So, how in the world do you break free? Well, the most efficient way is called the debt avalanche. You list out all your debts by interest rate, highest to lowest. Then, you keep paying the minimum on everything, but you throw every single extra dollar you can find at that debt with the highest interest rate. Once it's gone, you take that whole payment and roll it, like a snowball, onto the next one. It's the fastest way out, period.
And here we are, our 5th and final mistake. And honestly, this might be the most important one of all.
This is the one that quietly steals your future wealth without you even noticing until it's way too late. And that mistake is waiting too long to start investing.
Just look at this, because it shows exactly why time is so much more valuable than money when you're investing. Person A starts with just $50 a month at age 20. Person B waits until they're 30 but invests 4 times as much, $200 a month. And guess what? Person A, the one who put in way less money, ends up with more. Why? Because of the magic of compound interest. Time did all the heavy lifting for them.
This is probably the single biggest myth that holds people back. It's this belief that you've got to be wealthy or have this huge pile of cash just to get in the game. But you know what? That's just not true. Not anymore.
The fix is so simple. Just start with what you have. $10, $20. The actual amount is so much less important than building the habit of doing it consistently. These small, regular investments you make today, they are going to grow into something much, much bigger down the road. The most important thing is just to start.
So there you have it, the 5 quiet mistakes that can really hold you back financially. Now for the most important part, turning all this into action. Let's talk about how you can start to make a real change starting right now, today.
And that's the real trap, isn't it? Every single one of these mistakes feels completely harmless in the moment. They're small, they're quiet, they're super easy to ignore, but over time, they compound into years of lost opportunity and a whole lot of financial stress.
But the second you start to fix them, even just one at a time, your entire financial life starts to change for the better. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. Looking at everything we've talked about, what is the one small change you're going to commit to making today?